Hey guys, how's it going? It's the animeoveranalyst here with another review. This is going to be Jujutsu Kaisen first half of season 1. This is basically going to encompass the first 13 seasons or so. And the reason why I wanted to do this is A, the show is pretty popular, so I figured, hey, maybe somebody will actually watch this review for once. And then B, there's a lot of things that I've seen that are kind of on my mind as I was watching it. And so a lot of this is going to be kind of off the top of my head type of stuff. However, I've pretty much got a solid idea of the show at this point. Like I said, I'm 13 episodes in. That's pretty much right at the halfway mark. So, to begin with, I've got a slight issue with the dynamic between Itadori, Nubara, and Megumi, who, as you can see on this poster here, I keep forgetting that I got things flipped. Uh, you see them as portrayed in the poster along with Gojo. I have a huge issue with their dynamic because the show makes it seem like they're like the greatest friends. They're the best of friends. And literally, they were together for like a day or two. And then Ichidori died. And I'm sitting there like, it feels forced. It feels very, very forced. And so I'm not much of a fan of that dynamic, to be honest, at least not yet. It just doesn't feel right to me. And I think part of that is because this is a seasonal anime. I think if this, or sorry, yeah, this is seasonal anime. If this was like one of the long-term animes, like Naruto, One Piece, whatnot, which I know anime is steering away from at this point, I think that would have almost been better because we could have at least been able to set up more of a relationship between those three characters than we have now because they were kind of giving me a little bit of Naruto vibes. In fact, we got almost the same Naruto setup a little bit. We've got the professor with gray hair wearing some type of face covering. We've got our cheerful protagonist, we've got our moody rival, and then we've got the female that just punches everything. Well, she uses a hammer this time, but same difference. Um, so a lot of Naruto vibes, but they take it in a different direction, which I do like. They split up the group really early on, and honestly, like I don't have a problem with them splitting up the group. I think that's a really great move. Just don't care about don't care about Megumi and Nubara going around being like we just lost our best friend when like I said, they were literally together for like 2 days at most. So that's kind of my issue when it comes to those two characters. Now, I do want to also talk about Gojo. Gojo's fantastic. He's funny. He is great. He is crazy. But that's what you expect from him. And so, I can understand why a lot of nerdcore artists wanted to sing about Gojo. He is insane. I love his attitude of, I don't give a fuck about anything. I just want to fight strong creatures. And it was so funny when he took on that volcano dude and just obliterated it. He literally took on the volcano dude, left to grab Ichidori, and then came back with Ichidori, and then it was like, no, just watch, and then just made a fool of the volcano dude. So funny. And if you haven't noticed, I'm bad with names. I guess I could pull up a list of names now, but I don't want to keep searching for names and whatnot. This is mainly off the top of my head type of stuff. And if I don't remember a name, chances are I didn't care about that character that much to remember the name. Like, for example, the mainish villain of this part. It's the dude that gives me a lot of Shigaraki vibes. He's got, scars all over his face. He's pale. He kind of whispers a little bit. Just overall creepy dude. And Yeah, he's just kind of evil for the sake of evil. Yeah. I feel bad for the kid that he manipulated. You know, he killed the mother and then tried to turn the kid on Ichidori, and Ichidori was like, "Hey, let's join Jujutsu Kaisen, join the school." And then it just kind of didn't happen. The kid kind of did. So, yeah, I mean, overall, it's a good anime. Don't get me wrong. It's a good anime. I'm so far not sure that it's lived up to its hype. That's kind of my issue. Now, like I said, I've only seen the first half the first season. I'm about to watch the second half and it could go completely nuts after that. I'm invested enough to watch it. Well, I'll say that. Like it's good enough for me to keep watching. I've just seeing a little bit of points here and there. The art style goes back and forth with me. Like there are parts where I'm like, this art is amazing. I love the curse effects and the colorings and just kind of how wild and almost overly textured they are. It it's a weird design, but I love it. Then there are other times when I'm sitting around, I'm like, okay, that's kind of lame. Like, just the art style. It's inconsistent, at least in my point of view. And so that's one of the issues. And I guess when it comes to curse powers and all that, so far I've seen like only a couple cool powers. Like I love Gojo's power of infinity. I love that a lot. And Nubara's power looks cool. Like, it's simple because she just hits stuff with a hammer and that's about it. But it looks cool. I like that. I don't care for Itadori's power. It reminds me too much of Deku, where it's just like, I'm gonna punch everything. And I'm waiting. I'm waiting for him to be like, "Oh, I have legs." And then he starts kicking things. I'm just waiting for that. So, yeah, not too terribly impressed with him just yet. However, there's a lot of potential because he also has Sakuna, which is just a brilliant move almost, except that's almost in every shonen now that I think about it. Every single protagonist has to have some kind of devil demon inside of him. Yeah, now that I'm thinking about it, it's not too terribly brilliant. I mean, the way it goes about is actually pretty cool because most of the protagonists are like born with it, or if they're like Asta, they kind of acquire it. No, he eats body parts and it grows the demon inside. So that's actually a really cool facet. I will admit that. That's actually a really cool facet. So, the more I think about it, the more just generic shonen Jujutsu Kaisen is with its own little twists, which I do appreciate. Don't get me wrong, I do appreciate. And like I said, this is good enough for me to keep watching. And I hear that even the second season may be really good, or they may come out with a movie. So, like I said, good enough for me to keep watching. I don't think there's really anything else for me to comment. I love the opening and the closing. I especially love the ending. The ending is such a bop, and I love watching everybody dance around to it. That's actually really cool. I love it. I love it. So, just wanted to say that there. Great ending, great opening. Soundtrack is also solid, so I don't have any issues when it comes to the soundtrack. Literally, like I said, my issue is mainly with some of the character choices and I guess pacing issues and a little bit of animation. Um, but yeah, I guess I never really expanded on pacing. Basically, my issue with the pacing is that at times it feels like they're jumping into action right off the bat, like jump, 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 and I don't mind it too much. That's fine. And then they have weird time frames when it's like, nah, we're just going to like focus on some of the other students from the academy. So they're like, okay, we're gonna focus on the other students. Okay, that's cool. I like to see that. And then they don't return to them for several episodes, and I'm sitting there like, okay. They were just kind of introduced. They're kind of forgotten a little bit. I don't know. I don't like the way the episodes are structured in that case. Like, I'd I'd like it if we have more diverse scenes, if that makes any sense, because a lot of the show is like we're going to focus on this one scene with this group of characters, and then we're going to forget about them for maybe an episode or two, then we'll come back. And it's like I'd like to see the characters that we have introduced. I don't want any more new characters because they introduce a lot of characters. But I'd like to see more interactions with the characters we currently have. That's my issue. So, what do you guys think? Am I completely off by rockers, or do I bring up some good points? But comment down below and we can talk about it. Or you could just yell at me or leave a dislike like a lot of people do without any reasoning. Kind of annoying, but it is what it is. Anyways, I'm the anime overanalyst, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.